So here we go. Box of Rain ring is done. 15 months in the making. I listened to a lot of Grateful Dead interviews I had never heard before while making this. One thing that really stuck out to me was how they thought of songs as living spiritual entities. The Grateful Dead is the conduit of them coming to our realm. And I really feel like I connected with the Box of Rain entity on this. This gray spinel is just strikingly beautiful, so we really found a unicorn here. The whole ring is 18 karat yellow gold, each side pertaining to different lyrics of the song. Here we've got walk into splintered sunlight, inch your way through dead dreams to another land. The theme of the ring generally with Phil Lesh losing his father to cancer and just sort of that whole journey being by his side and looking at death. And the way Robert Hunter wrote those lyrics is just apt for what Phil Lesh was going through. I love how this turned out. The skeleton, like, when I started sculpting it, I wasn't sure exactly how it was going to turn out. It kind of made a life of its own, and to me, it's like this skeleton is happy. And I wasn't really planning on that, but it was like kind of this moment of like, it's gonna be okay. No one knows what happens in the afterlife. In and out the window like a moth before a flame, and the flame of sapphire and yellow diamonds. Definitely was a challenge doing the beads sort of around the stones and keeping that pattern straight. One thing I really love is a close-up of these diamond mackerel crystals. Like, just such a cool etching pattern on this. Something you definitely need magnification to see, but that's one reason I'm making this video for you, so you can kind of see what I got to see while making it. Let's see if we can get a good focus. That one's really cool too. And they're all just unique in their own way. You can get a real nice close-up of the details, the skeleton. Kind of hard to keep it still and in focus. Here, check this. This diamond crystal is just so cool. The scrolls on around the arches are American Beauty album cover, and so it's essentially kind of like this scroll here I drew trying to copy that scroll verbatim, and then everything else is just sort of like using this style of scroll work and just continuing it down the ring and around. So these two sides I was really unsure of. It took a lot of thought and effort to kind of come up with these and like to narrow down what lyric I wanted to feature, but I kept coming back to what would you want me to do to watch for you while you're sleeping, but please don't be surprised if you find me dreaming too. And I just think that's such a beautiful lyric. It really feels like it's describing Phil sitting there next to the hospital bed, and so I wanted to kind of pay homage to that, and this is representing the sleeper who's, you know, also dreaming, possibly spirit leaving. These scrolls are representing a dream state or a spiritual state, and they're sort of both pointing at this in and out the window like a moth before a flame. And then this is essentially the watcher and the dreamer, so looking at his own reflection in his father's eye and finding that he's dreaming too, and pondering. I love how this skeleton reflection came out, and the back of this skeleton. Here's the roses on the inside. One of the most challenging parts of this piece was figuring out how to make this work with the stash pockets. So we've got one there. Got the two mustache pockets. The top of the ring is essentially version of an opening box with 4 flaps for the lid, and inside is the gray spinel representing the rain. Alright, you're the best.